So the game timer right now is 55 seconds. And, okay, so 55 seconds. So I'm recording this one. So I will upload this maybe to YouTube or something. Looks like TiP is just opening up with a point. Also, my screen is in full screen, so I can't really answer. Oh, actually, let me move Discord over to the second monitor so that I can occasionally look at some stuff that you guys are saying and perhaps answer it. I apologize in advance about the snoring in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud, but probably is. Okay. Okay. For Ron Ezreal, that's interesting. Okay. So basically, TSM doesn't necessarily have a win condition. It's just to wait until TiP collapses onto themselves. Because eventually TiP is going to reach a point where the only option for anything is just going to be a full-on fight. And at that point, the withering, you know, via Mash and via Pyrian, I don't know how you say it, or via Ezreal and LeBlanc, is basically going to be outright countered by Zilean. So, unless TiP withers more than just one or two targets, they need to literally get 3 people, you know, down below 60% HP. That's their only chance at winning a fight. So they have that as an out, or they have that they have to win every single lane. I think also because TSM's in it for the long haul, you can easily commit. Okay, and they're giving the kill to Honster. I think that's actually good. However, I think that because Fiora has such an edge anyway, I think something interesting that you could do is maybe even just give... Maybe you could have given that tower... See, there's some interesting things that I have a theory about, but I don't know how strong they actually are. But I think, like, you maybe can give the tower kill there to Alistar and have him complete into Sightstone sooner. I think that would be really strong. Especially because you have such a proactive jungler who, if she's able to trap or do anything... Oh god, oh god. Okay. Okay. So now Fiora's in an awkward position, and now TSM being in top lane right now, I don't think is... Okay, never mind. If they're gonna bring Kindred up and then... Are they gonna 3-man it? If they don't 3-man it, then Alistar needs to roam here with Kindred, and they need to apply pressure to LeBlanc, and that'll set her actually even further behind. And then getting control over Graves' west side jungle right now is basically going to make it so that he has no EV to come up and contest anything on Corki. And then it makes it so easy because then Zilean has only one side that he has to be defensive against, which is going to be the east-hand side. But then that's going to be inside of Kindred's route. So he's going to be relatively safe and immune. And then Fiora's in a really golden spot, and then everything's really good for TSM. Bjergsen did not die, okay. That was really dangerous. I think LeBlanc could have even killed him. I think that he was just afraid of the fog of war, which is, you know, it is a real thing. Oh, double lift messing up. I don't think that affects anything. This is good. Double lift and Alistar back off. They're not supposed to eat the wave because they want the wave to shove into their tier 2 tower, and then they lock it and it opens up dragon timing. I think just speeding up the mid game, basically like accelerating the early game, would be really good right now for TSM, because even though Zilean is going for a quest-based item, he's not going to be as impacted by it as, like, say the Twisted Fate would have been last game by having an accelerated mid game. So I think it would be really wise of TSM right now to basically put priority on the mid lane in some form. Having Corki freeze bottom and having Fiora freeze top is basically the nuts right now. Because, again, we already talked about that TSM doesn't actually have a... The TSM has win conditions, but all of them are irrelevant when you factor in the fact that you can just prevent TiP's win condition, because TiP only has one win condition. So even though TSM, in theory, has a lot of, you know, viable win conditions, they have, like, split push based win conditions, they have objective based win conditions, and they have poke based or pseudo poke based win conditions, etc. All of that just goes out the window when you factor in that they have the option to just decline a direct win condition and then instead resist TiPs. And I think that's an interesting concept, when you can actually just not try to win, you just let your opponent lose. So I, like, literally in this situation, the analogy that I gave last game was, you know, Protoss, Terran versus Protoss. Okay, if Haunter got down there, holy crap, they could have traded... Oh, actually... Yeah, if Haunter got down there, oh my god, this would have been a nightmare. I actually think that would have been bad. Because what would have happened is TiP would have had at least something opened, and TSM having an open lane doesn't matter at the end of the day because they can't win off of it. TSM is never going to win via bot lane, even though it is a possible win condition that they could have used. It's no longer one when you factor in that they don't need to do that, and it would actually go against what would be, you know, the most viable strategic choice that they could have made. They should just get Dragon. I don't understand this. Like, easily before they recall here, you can know that Ezreal's just going to reset. 100% Ezreal's just resetting. And you guys aren't doing anything. You don't need to get that Scuttle Crab. That easily could have been Alistar and, you know, everything, just getting the Dragon with you. You delay transferring over the blue to Zilean because he doesn't need it, because all of you are going to be in defensive posture right now, so you're actually wasting efficiency on your blue. You're wasting time on Svenskeren. You're wasting... Like, it's all just a waste of time. That was an easy... open timing window onto Dragon that would have played directly into what they wanted to do, and it wouldn't have hurt them. And then because we already talked about TSM basically having this Exodia type win condition where they just have to hold off, and, you know, every hold off, you know, you get the right arm of the forbidden one, the left arm of the forbidden one, whatever, fucking whatever, you end up winning. Dragon plays into that too, because Dragon in itself is sort of an Exodia. So it doesn't hurt to get it. So it doesn't make sense why they give up timing windows. Now they might, you know, move to position to get it, but this is a very cookie cutter attempt to get it. And not that cookie cutters are necessarily bad, but look at the minimap right now. You have Fiora in top lane, and you have 3 people centering around Dragon looking like they're going to get it. It's very basic, it's, you know, whatever, but it's not necessary. There was a way to refine this so that you could have captured it 2 minutes earlier, which, you know, the 2 minutes, it eventually keeps adding up. If you could have gotten this 2 minutes earlier, and then another one 30 seconds earlier, and then another one 45 seconds earlier, you almost get to a point where you could have gotten an entire Dragon sooner, in probably a majority of cases. Ow. This is such a late dragon. So late. And now, because they just got this dragon, why look to push bot back into you? There's nothing to do. It's 11 minutes into the game. Let bottom get shoved into you. Oh my god. I'm so tilted. Hold on, guys. Okay, I just had to make a tweet. By the way, people in Discord, you can still hear me talk, right? Okay, because there were some tweets of people saying that they can't hear me. Okay. Alright, we're good. Okay. So that was a really big pickup for TiP. And I think what they want to do right now is, I think actually letting, like, again, going back to the Fiora teleport bot lane, I think if, hypothetically, you could have traded towers there, and even the inhib tower, even if you don't outright get the inhibitor, I think it benefits TiP. Because any attempt of gold acceleration is going to inherently benefit their team composition, because they're looking to just get as much gold as they can, and then have a full-out fight before TSM can keep waiting. TSM, again, they just want to wait. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do anything. Because eventually this game is going to reach a point where TiP does nothing. All of their poke is going to be negated. And Zillion and Kindred are just going to take over. And, you know, Corki is going to be able to send back too much of a punch and stuff, and it's going to be horrible. So, this is really rough. And then the fact that Graves is coming in from the jungle instead of his top lane, it hurts even more. This doesn't make any sense. Can you guys stop fighting? Can you... Oh, man. Like, right here, this is Herald timing. Because what is TiP gonna do? If you just burst Herald. They could have easily bursted Herald, given up this minion wave, and then the next minion wave that coming, I think, is a cannon minion. I may be wrong. We're gonna see. Is it? It is. Yes. Okay. So, it doesn't make any sense. You just had Herald timing with the cannon minion wave. The previous minion wave is irrelevant, because if these were heralded minions, that's the nuts. And then on top of that, you basically would have given a kill into your team, right, via the Herald gold. It's like, I don't know, people don't want to win. Oh, man. Another thing that will be interesting is I think because of the way that TiP builds and itemizes, I think that Fiora can get away with the 4th item, Guardian Angel. And I think if that ends up happening, then it also works against the thing that we talked about earlier, in that TiP needs to wither like 3 to 4 targets, not just like 2, if they want to have any sort of a chance in any runway fight. This by Fiora I don't think is good. I don't think that she needs to be shoving the wave. I think she could have been locking it. Nautilus is so far behind though that I guess it doesn't really matter. This is actually really bizarre that he has like... He has less than 4 CS a minute, I think. It's like 3.9 or something, right? Or not 3.9. It's a little bit over 4, sorry. I'm an idiot. Deficio replied. Which tweet? Ignite LeBlanc. Okay. Alright. So now, all TSM needs to do is clear the wave in mid, and then they can fork TiP, because they're in an interesting position where, because of the vision control, and where TiP placed the priority on their vision, they can fork TiP. Because their mid-tier 1 tower is still up. So if they basically entice TiP to go for any sort of dragon play, or if they could coerce them to go into the east-hand side of the map, they could have forked them out of mid lane, and then also simultaneously taken top tier 2 tower, and then it's too early for any sort of a response side TiP. I think that would have been the correct play. So TSM's basically doing everything that they shouldn't be, because there's no reason to be moving on the map like this. This is exactly what TiP wants. And sometimes, even if you want to do something, if the opponent wants you to do it, you shouldn't do it. Doesn't matter, like, if you think you can do it. It's just incorrect. Imagine if TSM was just literally sitting and waiting for the waves to come to them. There was a ticking time bomb inside of Zillion and inside of Corki that eventually is just going to explode. And then also there's a time bomb inside of Fiora if Haunter, you know, is going to actually find it in himself to get Guardian Angel as the 4th item. Although that's a really rare thing, because for some reason a lot of people have some negative thing with Guardian Angel. I don't think I think Guardian Angel is extremely undervalued. Oh, I have a headache right now. Sorry, guys. Okay. There's no reason. I don't even care if TSM wins the fight. It's just a horrible decision. It's a horrible decision. Imagine like you're playing poker and you're way better than the opponent heads up. And like, I don't know. I just, like, the decisions that they're making are so... There's still so much variance that can occur. And I think TSM's goal right now should be to eliminate variance. Holy shit, that was really good by Haunter. Doesn't make any sense. Wait a minute. Hold on. We're gonna see the wave. We're gonna see the wave that Double Lift's going to. Don't farm it, Double Lift. He did, didn't he? He did. Stop it. What are you doing? Oh my god. Someone needs to put Double Lift on an island, and then he needs to see that a ship is bringing him food. Okay? And then he needs that food, and then someone needs to just move in front of the ship and prevent it from getting to the island. And then ask him how he feels. Because that's exactly what TiP would say. Like, or that's exactly how TiP feels. Like, why don't people understand, like, is it an embargo, right? It's sort of like, that would be the term for it, but like, oh my god. And it's not even that Double Lift's doing it, but like, everyone does it. I don't understand. I feel like it's a very basic macro move. Like, it's a cookie cutter. That's fine, whatever. Alright. Oh, I have such a headache right now. Okay. There's no reason. There's no reason. Come on, just shove the wave into them, reset, eat your jungle, eat their jungle when it's up. Set up vision control and wait for them to walk into you and kill them. The onus is on TiP to do something, not you guys. Let's see. They don't need to go for Baron, though. Oh, I have a huge headache right now. I don't know why. My head just... Oh, man. Oh. Also, I think given how like we're talking about TSM should be playing their composition and should be able to play their composition, I don't think that Zilean should have the blue orb. I think he should just actually have yellow. That way you have the Sightstone plus 2 yellow trinkets, because all that they really want is vision control. They don't need to be doing this. They get a kill, but it's unnecessary. It's sort of like, imagine imagine you have you have 500 big blinds or something, right? Like, you have a lot of money at the poker table, and you can easily just wait and, you know, like, wait for aces, ace king, ace queen, you know, kings, queens, whatever. You can easily just, you know, blind out a few orbits or something, waiting for like a monster hand. And instead, they're calling with like 10-9 suited out of position just because they simply have, or they're better. It's like, oh man. Doesn't make sense. So anyways, right here. I'm sorry, the headache's making me lose focus a little bit. I'm gonna take some acetaminophen after. Oh no, give up your mid-tier 1. Give up the mid-tier 1. Just give it up completely. You don't want to take damage right now because you have Dragon coming up. So Kindred could easily be at full HP right now, but she's not. They ulti. This is literally the most confusing thing in the entire world. They are voluntarily taking 60-40s or 40-60s continuously. Oh, there you go. Okay, well, Haunter is like saving them multiple times now. Okay, well, they team fight. Like their mechanics are saving them. It's not the choices. The choices are not good, but it ends up like so their choices they call with like 10-9, and then somehow like luck in a sense is like mechanics, and because they have such luck, they're like they're flopping 2 pair, but it shouldn't happen. Like, it's so bad. I mean, that's game over now, but they played in a way that was actually poor, but it didn't matter because they're just such better players. It's sort of like you can do anything and win. It's like, you know, it's like playing APZ in bronze, you know, if you're a challenger. Haunter did so much for them this game. Played really well. Really undervalued player. I think he always has been. Alright. All they have to do at this point is just, even though they have a comp that supports split push, they don't need to do it. They just need to do a 5-0 blitz. Because even though, like, TiP, even though TiP likes to wither, and then if all of them are grouped, obviously they can wither, TiP has no answer to just TSM diving them at this point. Like, Alistar coped with Lamb's Respite, coped with Bjergsen, or Zillion, whatever. It's just too much now. Like, the lead is too overwhelming for them to actually care. So now, you can start doing moves that would normally be bad, but you're so far ahead that it doesn't matter, and thus it ends up being correct. However, earlier on in the game, a lot of the decisions that they were making were incorrect. So... Okay. This is it, nuts game. Oh, come on, just get the towers and end. I think that's unacceptable in a tournament. This is a tournament match, not solo queue. Just end. Okay, at this point you can kill Nautilus because there is 0 chance that anything happens, but... yeah. head hurts so much. Okay. I don't know. I'm just gonna listen to see if anything else gets said, and then I'll stop talking about the game and get some medicine really quick. I feel bad for TiP. Okay, we're gonna go into the Immortals game next, but before that, I'm going to let's see.